when I reached into the pocket of the robe I had ironed for my husband. A cream-colored letter slid onto the pulpit steps and opened in front of the whole church. The paper made almost no sound. Still, it seemed louder than the organ. My wedding ring caught the edge as I bent to pick it up. The first line was written in a careful hand I did not know. "Isaiah, our daughter has waited 27 years for you to tell the truth." My knees did not buckle, but something behind them went cold. From the third row, one woman whispered, "Mercy." A little boy turned around in his seat. Sister Bernice's Bible slipped from her lap and struck the floor with a flat, final sound. Nobody moved to pick it up. My husband stood above me in the white robe I had pressed smooth that morning, his hand resting on the pulpit as though he still owned the room. The anniversary flowers were fresh, white, and perfect. One lily had already begun to lean. I looked up at the man I had protected for 29 years. I expected fear, I expected shame, I expected even one flicker of sorrow. What I saw instead was calculation. For 29 years, I ironed my husband's preaching robes in the preparation room, behind the sanctuary of Crown of Mercy Temple Church of God in Christ, a brick church on the south side of Memphis, where people knew the order of service the way they knew their own family names. Call to worship, scripture, prayer, choir. Welcome, offering selection, sermon, altar call. Every Sunday had its shape, and every person had a place inside it. The ushers wore white gloves on first Sundays. The mothers sat near the front, where they could see everything without appearing to watch. The women's choir rehearsed on Thursdays, and the young people stood straighter when Bishop Isaiah Mercer entered the sanctuary. I was known simply as First Lady. The title carried more labor than people understood. I organized repasts, remembered widows' birthdays, found rides for older women, and kept peppermints for restless children. I chaired the Women of Grace ministry and taught younger wives not to confuse visibility with importance. People saw my hats, my gloves, and my straight back in the first pew. They did not see how often I swallowed a question, because the answer might disturb the peace. In those days, I believe peace was something a woman protected by absorbing the noise herself. Older women had called endurance maturity, loneliness a season, and silence suffering wisdom. I did not know then how easily spiritual language can be used to make self-erasure sound holy. There were signs, but signs are not the same as truth when you have trained yourself not to read them. Isaiah kept the church office door closed, turned away during calls, and gave Brother Leon Price travel details he once shared with me. When I asked whether anything was wrong, he would smile without warmth and say, "You worry too much. Keep your mind on the women." That sentence became a fence. For years, I stayed on my side of it. Crown of Mercy loved a picture of strength. The church newsletter printed our photograph beneath words like legacy and covenant at district meetings. Women asked how I stood beside a powerful man for so long. My answers were true, but incomplete. Prayer, I would say. Patience. Knowing when to speak. I did not tell them how often knowing when to speak had slowly become not speaking at all. Isaiah arranged public image. Precisely, he knew where I should sit, when I should smile, and which stories made us look united. He was not loud with me. That would have been easier to name. He was controlled. He could dismiss me with a glance, then praise me from the pulpit as the wind beneath this ministry. I learned to accept public gratitude in place of private tenderness. That is one way loneliness survives inside a marriage. It is covered with ceremony. During Thursday rehearsal, I trimmed brown leaves from altar plants whose stems had begun to bow. Mother Odessa Green came beside me carrying a small watering can. "Some things look alive longer than they are," she said. I looked at her. She did not look back. She poured water carefully into the soil and added, "That is why you check the roots." Mother Odessa had been married 43 years before her husband died. She had never been a woman who wasted words. I clipped another leaf instead of asking. That was my first missed opportunity to tell the truth, even if all I could have said was that something in my marriage felt dark and still. Women often wait for proof before honoring discomfort. We are taught that intuition without evidence is accusation. So we collect uneasiness like stones at the bottom of deep water, visible only when the light strikes just right. I kept collecting. The letter appeared during the week of Isaiah's 35th pastoral anniversary. Anniversary season. Trying to swarm the church. Gold fabric crossed the fellowship hall. Youth practiced a tribute. And the kitchen committee prepared the banquet while chairs and tablecloths moved from room to room. I coordinated most of it. That was expected. The theme, approved by Isaiah, was a shepherd after God's own heart. On Tuesday afternoon, I was in the church office reviewing the program when Brother Leon asked whether I had seen the guest list. "Which one?" I asked. He hesitated. "The bishop's personal list." Isaiah entered before I could answer. His expression changed when he saw the paper in Leon's hand. "I told you I would handle that," he said. Leon lowered his eyes. "Yes, sir." Isaiah took the list and folded it once. Then he looked at me. "Why are you in here?" The question was so sharp that I glanced at the open door, as though I had crossed into a room where I did not belong. "I am checking the anniversary program. That can be done in the women's ministry room." I stood slowly. This program concerns the whole church. His smile arrived late. "Of course it does. I am simply trying to keep everyone in their lane so nothing gets confused." There was that fence again. I carried my folder down the hallway behind me. The office door closed. A closed door can become an institution. Power decides what will be known, and a woman is told that asking is disorder. That evening, the choir rehearsed "Great is Thy Faithfulness." While stained glass light crossed the empty pews, I sat alone near the back. For the first time, the word faithfulness did not comfort me. It questioned me. Was faithfulness only staying? Was it silence? Was it protecting a man from the consequences of his own decisions? Or could faithfulness also mean refusing to cooperate with what was false? I did not yet have an answer. But the water inside me had begun to rise. On Wednesday, A woman I had never seen before arrived during afternoon prayer. She wore a navy blue hat and sat near the center aisle. She knew when to stand and knew the old prayer chorus. When Isaiah entered, she lowered her eyes. I noticed because he noticed her. Only for a second. A man can build a whole secret inside a second, if the woman beside him has been trained not to interrupt. After prayer, I greeted her near the open sanctuary doors. "I am glad you joined us," I said. She took my hand in both of hers. Her palms were cold. "My name is Evelyn Brooks. Are you visiting from another church?" "In a way." She looked past me toward the pulpit, where Isaiah was speaking with two elders. "I have heard much about Crown of Mercy." Her voice carried no challenge that made me more uneasy, not less. Claudine Bell called me to settle the seating chart. When I looked back, Evelyn was gone. Later, I asked Isaiah whether he knew her. He did not pause. "Who?" "The woman in the blue hat, Evelyn Brooks." He adjusted the cuff of his shirt. "People come through here all the time. She seemed to know you. Everyone thinks they know the pastor." He touched my shoulder with direction, not affection. "Do not create a story where there is none." That sentence stayed with me. Manipulation can sound reasonable enough to make a woman distrust her own memory. In the church kitchen, Claudine was covering trays with foil. She watched me stand motionless near the refrigerator. "You all right?" she asked. "I am tired." She pressed the foil along the edge of a pan. Tired is real. But it is not always the whole truth. I looked at her, and my eyes filled before I could stop them. Claudine asked nothing. She washed her hands and sat beside me. For 10 minutes, she simply stayed. That was the first act of care, a woman refusing to rush me into an explanation. Sometimes dignity begins there, with someone who does not demand that you make your pain presentable. The Robe room was small, windowless, and warm. Isaiah kept 6 preaching robes there. I knew each fabric beneath heat. White needed a pressing cloth, burgundy held sleeve wrinkles, and black could shine if the iron lingered. Their care had become a marital ritual. I once called it devotion later. It proved only that I could smooth his public appearance while our private life grew rough. On Friday morning, I prepared the white anniversary robe. One inside pocket seemed heavier than usual, but Isaiah entered before I checked it. "Not that one yet," he said. I lifted the iron. "You chose white for Sunday." I may change my mind. He crossed the room and removed the robe from the board himself. In 29 years, he had never done that. "Is something in the pocket?" I asked. His face remained calm. "Why would you ask that?" "Because you are holding it. Like there is." He laid the robe over his arm. "You have too much on you this week. Go supervise the banquet hall." I turned off the iron. "Isaiah, who is Evelyn Brooks?" His eyes sharpened, but his voice stayed low. "I have answered you." "No, you avoided me." He stepped closer. "This is not the week for you to become emotional. The old instinct rose, become smaller so he could remain composed. Then something shifted. "I am not emotional," I said. "I am asking a question." He looked at me as though the distinction offended him. For years, I called silence patience. In that room, I recognized fear of his withdrawal, church gossip, and being blamed for disturbing a successful ministry. That belief did not fall away all at once. It loosened, a knot becoming aware of itself. Isaiah carried the robe into his office and closed the door. I remained beside the ironing board. The iron cooled slowly and the room smelled faintly of starch. By Saturday, several women had noticed Evelyn. She attended the luncheon rehearsal with a tall young woman who had Isaiah's deep-set eyes and his habit of pressing her lips together before speaking. Her name tag read Simone Brooks. I saw the resemblance. Then I told myself not to see it. Denial is often a refusal to complete the sentence forming inside you. Mother Odessa joined me by the rain-dark church garden beneath the covered walkway. "Who is she?" I asked. Mother Odessa did not pretend not to understand. "I do not know the whole matter," she said. "But I know she has been here before." "When?" "Years ago, once during a district meeting. Once after a funeral, Bishop met her in the office. Both times. Her great aunt seemed it too, though my feet did not move. Why did no one tell me?" Mother Odessa's face tightened with sorrow. Because people thought protecting the church meant protecting the man in the pulpit. She waited, then added, "And some of us were wrong." That confession hurt more than an excuse would have. Churches and families defend appearance because it is easier to organize than pain. Broken trust requires people to admit what they saw and why they chose comfort over truth. Mother Odessa took my hand. "You do not have to carry the shame for what was hidden from you." It was the first time anyone named shame before I claimed it. Later, Claudine brought food to the women's room and made me eat. Dr. Patrice Holloway, who handled compliance, sat across from me with a yellow pad. "If this touches church records, we will review them," Patrice said, "not to create scandal, to establish truth." "I do not know what this is yet." "You do not have to know everything today," she replied. "You only need to stop agreeing to know nothing." That sentence became a handrail. Outside, water continued to fall from the roof into the garden drain. The sound was soft and steady. Time was moving, even while I felt frozen. Anniversary Sunday arrived bright and windless. The sanctuary opened at 9. Visiting clergy filled 2 rows. The choir wore cream and gold, and white flowers framed the pulpit. I arrived before everyone except the custodian. Morning light crossed the empty altar while I stood alone. I thought of John 8:32. "And ye shall know the truth, and the truth shall make you free." I had heard that verse as victory that morning. I heard its cost. Truth can end an arrangement that required you not to know. At 10:15, Isaiah came into the preparation area wearing the black robe. "I decided against white," he said. "Why?" "The black carries more authority." On a hanger behind him, the white robe waited. Brother Leon entered with a message, and a communion cup tipped against Isaiah's sleeve. The stain spread quickly. He closed his eyes. "Get the white robe," he told me. I looked at him. "The service has started," he said. "Bring it to the pulpit entrance." I took the robe from the hanger. The pocket was still heavy. I could have reached inside then. Alone in the preparation room, I could have read whatever waited there before stepping into the sanctuary. But after 29 years of carrying private uncertainty, I was finished protecting secrets I had not created. I folded the robe over my arms and walked toward the open sanctuary door. The choir was singing. The congregation stood. Isaiah moved to the pulpit in his stained black robe and announced that his wife would assist him with the ceremonial change before the anniversary message. People smiled at the symbolism. They saw a faithful wife bringing a clean robe to a faithful husband. I walked down the center aisle while the choir held the final chord. Each step felt like a stone, placed carefully on a new path. At the pulpit, I lifted the white robe so Isaiah could slide his arms into it. My fingers moved by memory. Right sleeve, left sleeve. Collar straight, fabric smooth across the shoulders. Then my wedding ring caught the inside pocket. The cream-colored envelope slid out, struck the pulpit step, and opened. The paper fell. A woman whispered. A Bible dropped, and a little boy turned. I bent and saw the first line. "Isaiah, our daughter has waited 27 years for you to tell the truth." Isaiah reached down. "Give me that." His voice was quiet, but the microphone carried it. I stood with the letter in my hand. "No," I said. The word was not loud. It did not need to be. Evelyn rose from the center section. Simone remained seated beside her, her face pale but steady. "I wrote it," Evelyn said. The congregation shifted as one body. Then it became still. Isaiah stepped toward the microphone. "This is a private family matter." Evelyn answered from the aisle. "It became a church matter when you invited our daughter here to sing for your anniversary and told her she would be acknowledged, then hid my letter in your robe." A murmur moved from pew to pew, impossible to call back once released. I looked at Simone in her face. I saw not a rival, and not a scandal. I saw a grown woman who had spent 27 years waiting for a father to stop treating her existence like a threat to his image. I read the rest of the letter silently. Evelyn wrote that she met Isaiah at a regional revival and became pregnant early in our marriage. He promised to tell me, then postponed it through ordinations, campaigns, appointments, and anniversaries. He sent irregular support and met Simone on church property. He invited her to sing as a special guest, promising to acknowledge her afterward. The letter ended with one sentence. "I will not help you make another woman carry the cost of your son." My hands stopped shaking. That line did not accuse me. It released me. I turned to Isaiah. "Is Simone your daughter?" He looked at the elders. He looked at the congregation. He looked at the side door. Then he looked at me. "Yes," he said. The words settled into the sanctuary's lowest place. No organ played. No one shouted. The silence was not empty. It was full of 27 years. I asked one more question. Did you know before you married me that Evelyn was pregnant? No. Evelyn spoke gently. He knew 6 months after. Isaiah's jaw tightened. I was trying to protect the ministry. I heard the sentence clearly because I had used versions of it myself. Protect the ministry. Protect the church. Protect the family. The protection had always required women to remain unprotected. I placed the letter on the pulpit. You protected your position. I said, do not call it the ministry. Then I stepped away from him. Presiding Elder Amos Grant ended the service without spectacle. He announced that the anniversary message would not continue, and that the elders would meet with Isaiah, me, Evelyn, and Simone. The choir sang softly while ushers dismissed visitors. Some people stayed. Most of the women stayed. In the conference room, Isaiah sat at the head of the table until Elder Grant asked him to move to the side. The change mattered. Accountability begins when the room stops arranging itself around the person who caused the harm. Isaiah confirmed. Simone was his daughter and admitted concealing her from me. And the elders, using pastoral travel and staff secrecy to maintain the lie. Brother Leon wept quietly when he confessed that he had followed instructions he knew were wrong. Dr. Patrice requested access to travel records and discretionary accounts to ensure no church funds had been used. Isaiah objected. Elder Grant answered, "This is not punishment. It is stewardship." Evelyn spoke without performance. She regretted accepting his promises, but would no longer allow Simone to be hidden. Simone's voice was the calmest among us. "I did not come to take anyone's place," she said. "I came because I was tired of being treated like my life was an administrative problem." I reached across the table and offered her my hand. She looked surprised. "So was I said. The room changed then. Not healed, not repaired, but honest. By evening, the elders placed Isaiah on immediate leave pending formal review. He offered to resign before they could vote. Elder Grant told him the process would continue whether he resigned or not, because consequence was not the same as escape. I did not feel triumph. A marriage can be over in truth before it is over in paperwork. A public position can fall in one afternoon, while the woman beside it still has to gather the pieces of an ordinary life. When the meeting ended, I returned to the sanctuary. The pews were empty. One white flower had fallen from the anniversary arrangement and lay near the altar. I picked it up and placed it in a small glass of water. Not everything that falls has to be discarded. I didn't know it'd have to be seen where it landed. The next week, women came quietly and practically. Claudine met me in the kitchen with coffee and food. She offered no marriage verdict, only the reminder that nourishment was not a reward for certainty. Mother Odessa sat beside me after noon prayer, naming her silence without asking me to comfort her. Dr. Patrice reviewed joint records with me and connected me to an attorney, clarifying what belonged to me what could wait, and what boundaries could not. Sister Bernice told the senior women, "We will not turn her pain into a telephone ministry." They agreed not to spread details or treat Evelyn and Simone as intruders. The choir sent flowers, not the large polished arrangements used for public occasions, but a small basket of opening yellow roses for the women's ministry room. One card read, "Truth is not the end of your dignity." Those acts corrected the old lesson that a woman proves strength by suffering alone. Community is not people watching you endure. Community is people helping remove the weight that never belonged on your back. Simone returned to the church 2 weeks later for a private meeting in the sanctuary. She sat 3 pews behind me until I turned and invited her forward. We did not pretend to be family in an instant. That would have been another kind of performance. We spoke carefully. She told me she had heard about me all her life. Isaiah described me as strong enough to handle anything, which was how he excused telling me nothing. I told her strength without consent is often exploitation. She nodded. Before she left, we stood together beneath the stained glass light, moved across the floor between us, not all at once, but slowly. Clarity had begun that way too. For months, I remained active at Crown of Mercy, though I no longer sat in the first pew as First Lady. I sat with the women of grace. Some people did not know how to approach me without my former title. I saw how much identity had been attached to his office. I had to learn the sound of my own life without an introduction. In one women's session, I spoke about privacy and secrecy. Privacy protects dignity and gives healing room. Secrecy protects deception and isolates someone for another person's comfort. Several women lowered their eyes. One reached for another's hand. I told them what I had learned. When a relationship repeatedly requires you to distrust your perception, abandon reasonable questions, or carry shame for another person's choices, calling that submission does not make it sacred. That was my belief shift. What I had called loyalty was often fear wearing church clothes. What I had called patience was sometimes delay without truth. What I had called peace was frequently the absence of my own voice. Real peace did not arrive when everyone stopped talking. It arrived when I no longer had to disappear to keep the room calm. Isaiah completed the disciplinary process. The review found no theft of church funds, but it confirmed misuse of staff, travel reporting, and pastoral authority to maintain the deception. He resigned from the pastorate and entered a period of supervised restoration outside Crown of Mercy. The congregation divided. Some defended decades of preaching. Others said preaching could not be separated from power. I stopped trying to manage everyone's opinion. That was another boundary. His consequence was not my revenge. His consequence belonged to his choices and to the institution responsible for addressing them. My work was to become truthful inside my own life. 6 months later, I returned to the robe room. One white robe remained after Isaiah's belongings were cleared. The elders had not known where to send it. I took it down and laid it across the ironing board. pocket was empty. For years, I thought keeping that robe smooth could help the man inside remain worthy of it. But cloth cannot make character. Appearance cannot carry truth forever. I folded the robe and placed it in a garment bag for the elders to return. Then I removed Evelyn's letter from my Bible, where I had kept it since that Sunday. With Evelyn's permission, I kept a copy because it marked the end of a system that assigned 3 women different silences. Evelyn had been told to wait. Simone had been told to hide. I had been told not to ask. I placed the copy in a sealed envelope and wrote one sentence across the front. The truth that ended one life also began another. I did not leave it in the robe. A boundary, a record, and a witness. Afterward, I walked through the church garden. New flowers had begun to open along the path. The empty bench no longer looked abandoned. It looked available. I sat there while the late light touched the wet leaves. Faith remained. Not faith that asks a woman to deny what she knows or confuses reputation with God's name. What remained was quieter. Truth can wound without destroying. Dignity can survive exposure. And a woman can leave a role without leaving herself. Psalm 34:18 says, "The Lord is nigh unto them that are of a broken heart." I had once heard that verse as a promise that pain would quickly pass. I now heard it as permission to be a company, while healing took its honest time. Truth did not give me back the years I spent protecting what was false. It gave me back the woman who had been disappearing inside them. Dignity was not found in pretending I had never been wounded. It was found in refusing to carry another person's shame. Faith did not require me to remain where truth was unwelcome. It taught me to walk in the light without becoming cruel. And grace did not erase consequence. It made room for repentance, boundaries, and a life no longer built on silence. If some part of this story feels familiar, you are welcome to share what you have learned in the comments, in whatever words feel safe and true for you. This channel was created for women who have carried more than anyone knew, and who deserve to be seen.